listening to the voice of the Richmond Hill Wildcats. Low Country Radio is Cat Country. Go Cats.
I'm sitting here with Maurice Smith, number 4, running back.
Yes, ma'am.
How do they feel about you being a senior this year and going away? Potentially.
I think they're excited. We've been around each other for a while. Got here, coaches I got here my sophomore year, and we just great vibe ever since. Yes, ma'am.
So as a senior and a leader on the team, how do you take that responsibility?
I take it very serious. I expect the guys to do what they're supposed to do and be on time to practice, and just those key points that make us a great team.
How do you push them?
Every day, motivating them, asking questions, taking questions, learning from each other every day.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
awesome. How do you pump up for a game?
Music is a big one.
Yeah, I love the music that you guys are playing during practice. Does that help? Does that pump you guys
Yes,
up?
ma'am, it does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Tell me about your future plans. What do you got going on?
Hopefully to play collegiate football after my senior year. Just keep working hard throughout the season, take one step at a time.
You putting on new videos on Huddle, doing things like that, getting people watching you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Along with the help of the coaches.
They're helping you out,
Yes, ma'am.
getting you ideas, getting you places to go and stuff like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me ask you this: you got any superstitions? Any pregame? Got to put your socks on a certain way or anything like that?
I don't eat pregame meal. That's all.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. I don't eat pregame meal.
So that just, if you get nervous or whatever, just keeps you from.
Yes, ma'am. Just keeps me from butterflies and just stay away from pregame meal.
Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And look forward to watching you this season.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. And we're back and we're sitting with Justin Jeffery. And tell me your number and your position.
Number 5, and I play wide receiver.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're the Jet,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Is that what they call
That's
you?
me, yes.
Okay. So as a wide receiver, you're actually going somewhere
Yes, ma'am.
for college. Okay. So tell me about your plans for the future then.
I'm gonna be studying business at the University of Cincinnati.
And how did you decide on the University of Cincinnati?
Well, whenever I went up there, I've always been told to go to a place where you're celebrated, not tolerated. So they really loved me up there, and they've got a really good business school, surrounded by Fortune 500 companies, so you
Right.
can always intern.
As a senior, how do you feel about taking on a leadership responsibility?
It's always been instilled in me to be a leader. Coming from a military family, you have to learn how to follow before you can lead. So I follow my dad, and I try to lead by the example that he set.
And he's sitting here over here on the other side of me. Is
Yeah.
he? Would you say he's probably the one person that's influenced you the most in life?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And how do they feel about you going to the University of Cincinnati?
Oh, yeah, they were excited for me. Oh, yeah, I told them before I told everybody else. So, we sat down in the kitchen and I told everybody. It was awesome.
So you're looking forward to this season. Who do you see as the number 1 threat to you guys getting through to the playoffs?
Probably say Brunswick. Brunswick will be pretty good this year, but I think we can beat them. Yeah.
Hey, gotta always have a positive attitude. Good. Well, thank you so much for sitting with us. So Antuan, tell me your number and your position.
Number 7, and I play bandit, aka is like strong safety.
Strong safety.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you get to beat down the wide receivers too, huh?
Yes, ma'am. More
Okay.
like tight ends.
Tight ends.
Fullbacks. Yes, ma'am.
You're getting the bigger guys.
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you think are the challenges for that position?
For most of us, we're kind of undersized to be hanging with the tight ends, the big boys, but we can handle it. Yes, ma'am.
Well, what have you been doing in the weight room to kind of get stronger?
Coach Lazat's workouts is pretty hectic, heavy, a lot. We
You walk around sore a little bit.
Oh, most of the day, yes, ma'am. A lot of Epsom salt.
A lot of Epsom salt
Yes,
baths,
ma'am.
right? Well, so as a senior on the team, you consider yourself a leader. How do you take on that responsibility?
Well, you gotta do the actions, lead by example, do what you gotta do, and lead. Yes, ma'am.
So there are some other guys behind you.
Yes, ma'am.
Who do you see coming up behind you? How are you helping them?
John, he's a good learner. He likes to talk to you, see what you're doing, what you're doing wrong. If so, he wants to correct you right then and there.
Yeah, don't you think that's a good quality,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Because you want to do it right.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to make sure you can wrap them up and get them down.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what are your plans for the future? You got college in mind?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you looking at? Who are you looking at?
I'm deciding between at least Georgia Southern or Marshall.
Or Marshall?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a good movie too. Well, what do your parents feel? How do your parents and your family feel about you going away? Or
My dad, he really doesn't want me to go away, but the goal is free college, so.
and I'm sure they'll be there cheering for you every game, right?
ma'am.
If you can get there, that's amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
We look forward to watching you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. So how long have you been playing for the
This is actually
Wildcats?
my first year playing
It
football.
is?
Yeah.
Have you always gone to school here?
Yeah, I've gone to school here my entire life, actually.
So who encouraged you to play football?
I mean, the coaches, they've been talking to me, like, since I've been in middle school to play football, but I'm a soccer player, so I never thought I'd have time. But with my senior year, I thought that I should make some time to do new things, and football is one of them.
So what position do you play?
Right now, I'm playing field safety.
Tell me about that position, because we have a strong safety and a safety. So what's the difference between that and a field safety?
The field safety, they're really like the last man. So if the offense is coming towards you, you're like the last line of defense for defense.
Okay, so you're covering the wide receivers.
Yeah.
And so you have to be fast. What's your 40 time?
I actually haven't timed my 40 yet.
You haven't?
No.
You got an idea?
I mean, I'd say it's pretty fast. I'm a pretty fast guy.
But you don't run track. You
No.
just do, but you do soccer.
Yeah.
So that's probably where you got that speed from when you say that. So as a senior on the team, it being your first year, how have you found the rest of the team to be accepting of you? Have they?
I mean, I've gone to school with most of these seniors for all 4 years of my high school. I mean, I'm friends with them. All the athletes, like we're good friends, so they're pretty accepting of me, and like they're always there to help me like learn the ropes or tell me what I'm doing wrong or what to improve on.
So you're covering somebody already. So do you have plays that you have to learn?
Yeah, I have to learn the same plays that the defense, the general defense has to learn. I just have to know my specific roles during that play.
Gotcha. So when you're finished with football, are you going to play soccer again this year?
Yeah, I'm still playing. I'm actually right after this practice. I have soccer practice.
How do you balance all of that?
I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna do it this school year, but I'm gonna hopefully I'll make time, whether it means leaving early for this practice and being late for the next practice, or vice versa.
And what do you plan to do after school?
After high school, anyways, definitely college. I plan on majoring in some field of engineering, hopefully, and either football or soccer. If I can get scholarships to play in college, that'd be great.
Well, thanks so much for sitting down with me. I look forward to watching you this season.
Thank you.
Sitting here with Sam James, number 10, wide receiver for the Wildcats. How long have you been playing?
About 5, 6 years.
5 or 6 years. Is that all?
Yes, ma'am.
So how did you get into this? Who decided? Who encouraged you?
Coach Richard. When I was young, I went to the rec, and he just came up to me. He was like, you should play football, and I was like, I was iffy about it because I was really a basketball player. Then that's when he just encouraged me to play football. From then on, I just started playing football.
And have you always been a wide receiver?
No, I was running back. Then when I got to middle school, I was too small to play running back, so I just went into a wide receiver.
And how do you like that? I mean, is it a challenge?
It depends, actually. Like, cause wide receivers is so much to go into catching the ball to running your routes right, and so I mean, yeah, it is a challenge, but it's an easy challenge.
There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to know, and you got to be in the right place at the right time, right? It's all about timing.
Thing with the quarterback, IQ with the quarterback.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
How do your parents feel about your senior year and you're going to be done and moving on? How do they feel about that?
Well, my mom, she kind of sad because I'm her first, and it's like her baby leaving her because I'm going to play football at West Virginia.
Yes.
And it's 9 hours away, so it'd be hard on her at first, but she should get used to it.
She will.
Yeah.
That's what phones are for, right?
Yes,
FaceTime and all of that.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have younger brothers and sisters?
I have a little brother. He's out there now.
And what grade is he in?
9th.
Okay, so you're a senior. You feel like you're a leader on the team,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
obviously your brother is playing as well. So how do you take on that responsibility?
I mean, it's hard. It's a hard it's a hard responsibility to be a leader. Everybody looking up to you. You can't make a wrong move or do a wrong thing because everybody's just looking on you and it's gonna fall back on you. So.
Right, exactly. Well, I think you do a great job,
Thank you.
and you're looking forward to going to West Virginia.
Yes, ma'am.
How many trips did you take up there? Did you go up there this summer?
I went up there summer once for camp. Then we did a little visit after it.
Yeah,
so
good.
Great.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. All right, well, I'm going to let you go. Thanks
Okay.
for joining
You're
me. I appreciate it.
welcome.
Good luck. We're sitting here with DJ Lewis. Tell me your number
I'm number 11.
and your position.
I play safety.
You play safety.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the best part about playing safety?
I get to tell the defense what to do whenever I'm kind of like, I guess you could say I'm kind of like the quarterback of the defense, so I get to I get to make the calls and the checks and stuff. So I basically get to tell the defense what to do.
So you're a leader. You're a leader on the defense.
Yes,
you're a
ma'am.
senior. How do you take that leadership responsibility?
I have to take it serious because if I don't do well, then the whole defense will crumble and won't work as efficient.
So the one thing that I love about watching the safety is you get to make the awesome hits on the wide receivers.
Mhm.
So how about that? Don't you love that?
Yes, ma'am. That's one of my favorite things to do. Yes, ma'am.
So tell me about how your parents and your family feel about you being a senior and maybe going away and moving on to the next level.
I think they're pretty. They try to pretend like they're ready for me to leave, but I know deep down inside that they're slightly upset that I'm going to be leaving. I know they're going to be happy for me wherever I decide to go, but still, yeah, I think they'll be happy for me.
So who are you deciding against? What are you looking at? What schools are you looking at?
Right now, I don't know. I don't really know. No, ma'am.
That's all right. What's a big deciding factor for you? Like, if you were to decide a place, what is the most important thing that you're looking for in a school to go to?
I would say probably time away from home.
Okay.
So,
Distance away. Yeah. So who's been the biggest influence in your life?
Probably my dad, for sure. Yes, ma'am.
Did he play football?
Yes, ma'am.
He did. And what position did he play?
Everything.
Oh, really?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We wish you the best of luck.
Yes, ma'am.
Looking forward to watching you during the season.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So I'm sitting here with Kasey Green. Kasey, you are quarterback, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me your number.
13.
Number 13. So what have you been doing this summer to prepare?
Just
for the
coming out
season.
here every day, working hard, going hard in the weight room, trying to get bigger and better.
What have you improved on? What do you think?
I've improved a lot, being more mature this year and accepting, taking my mistakes and flushing them away. Next play, have a next play mentality instead of focusing on stuff that I can't change anymore.
So do you feel like you are taking on a leadership role with the team?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. Well, tell me some fun stuff. Tell me about, do you have any funky superstitions? So what about on the day of the game? What do you do to pump up?
I don't know. I just chill out, have fun. Just try and stay as loose as possible.
Yeah, good.
Don't try and let it get to my head. Just stay loose.
Well, how about your parents? What do they think about you playing football and your final season?
My dad's really excited for it, and my mom is too, but she's more excited for baseball season.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. So you can do baseball too?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. What about basketball?
I'm not going to play basketball this year.
So what are your plans for the future?
I would love to go to Georgia Tech, and I want to major in biomedical engineering, and I want to build limbs for people.
You want to build what?
Limbs, prosthetic limbs.
Oh, that is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is really great. Well, so how do you balance academics and sports? I mean, that's a pretty bold.
One of my family friends was saying that there's three things. There's social life, education, and sports, and you can only pick two. And I picked sports and education. So during the school year, I don't really hang out with friends very much.
It has to take a back burner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
No
Best
problem.
of luck this season.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so I'm talking with Kenny Roundtree, and Kenny, tell me your number and your position.
I'm number 20, and I play corner.
Okay, so tell me the challenges about the cornerback position.
I mean, you got a different kind of guys. You got the speedy ones, the strong guys, the ones who really know how to run the routes to perfection, and that's about it.
And so you have to keep up with them because are you the last guy? Who's the last guy on the field that's going to get that person if you don't get them?
It all depends what coverage we're in. If we're in man-to-man, I'm locked on with him no matter where he go on the field. But if we're in like a cover or two or whatever, I got safety help.
Okay.
So majority of the time, I'll be the last guy.
You will be. How does it feel to get somebody when you know you got them and you get them?
I think it's pretty fun. It's challenging sometimes, but...
What's the challenge when you know you see that guy and you got to get him?
Just keeping your eyes on him. You can't take your eyes off of him for 1 second or he'll break you off. So just having good eye contact.
And do you feel like you've been a good leader for the team as a senior? Your last year, you're trying to teach whoever's behind you coming up. How have you taken on that leadership role?
I think I'm doing pretty good, teaching the young guys. This is my last year playing high school football, so I'm just trying to get them all the info that I have for the last 4 years. So when it's time to roll, they can be ready to play.
Good deal. So going forward, this is your last year of high school. You going to college? Are you planning on doing that?
Yes,
what are your
ma'am.
plans?
I plan on going to a 2-year in Mississippi, Jones County.
Okay.
So that should be fine.
Good deal. So how do your parents feel about that, and your family feel about you going away? And
my mom, she haven't showed too much attention to it, but I know when that time comes, she gonna break down a little bit.
You think so?
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate the time that you're taking. Look forward to watching you tomorrow night
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
Effingham game, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. I am sitting here with Joseph Petrino, and he is our kicker number 27. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
So, first thing first, how long have you been kicking for the team?
This is my 3rd year kicking.
It is, okay. And you played soccer before that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so tell me about how that came about.
Well, I was my sister, Coach Means actually coached my sister because he coached girls soccer, and then he noticed that she had a strong leg, so she reached out to her and asked if her brother, me, had just as strong as leg as her, and she said yes, and so then
Maybe a little stronger?
Yeah. And then the coach reached out to me and got me out to try out for the football team.
All right, are you glad you did?
Oh, I'm so glad I did.
And I know your mom and dad, how excited are they for you? You're going to Maryland.
They're crazy excited. I mean, we have family up there. My mom has friends up there, so it's going to be great going up to games.
Oh, okay. So where else did you go? What other teams were you deciding?
Well, I went to camps at Florida, South Carolina, West Virginia, and Vanderbilt.
So Maryland was your decision big time because of the family, the family connection?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So as a senior, how do you feel about being a leader on this team?
Well, you know, it's a very big responsibility. We've got a lot of young talent out here, and we just got to set a good example for everybody else.
Yeah. What do you think is going to be your toughest competition?
The team or other teams?
For other teams.
Oh, it's probably going to be Glenn, like always.
Yeah. That's why they're called the Terrors,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Well, I appreciate you taking some time out to sit with us, and look forward to watching you this season.
Yes, ma'am.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Good luck. You're
Thank
welcome. Robert, do they call you Robert?
Yes, ma'am. They call me Bert.
Bert, you know, being a senior and probably a leader on the team, I know, you know, everybody has their leadership roles. How do you take that responsibility?
I want the younger guys to look up to me and follow me in my footsteps and just do the right thing, don't slack off.
How do you do that? I mean, it's kind of tough when, you know, you've got a lot of people watching you.
I just do the drills right. I do hard work in the weight room, go hard. I tell them in the weight room, do one more rep, push yourself until you can't go anymore.
I think you've done that with my son once or twice, haven't you?
ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that. So tell me what you are most proud of achieving throughout these years playing Wildcat football.
I'm gonna achieve that, how far I came, how stronger I got.
So how much are you benching now?
I'm bitching 250.
And probably when you started, you weren't benching that.
I was struggling with 135 when I started.
There you go. That's some progress.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. So how do your parents feel? How's your family feel about you graduating? And
They're really excited. They're proud of me for all the hard work and all the dedication I put into school.
And how do you balance school with athletics? It's tough.
Yeah, it's really hard coming from school to football, then going home doing homework, and then going to work.
You're exhausted.
Yes, ma'am. I am.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, you know, and you're still here. You're still alive. You managed to make it through it.
Yes, ma'am.
That's good. Well, so what kind of plans do you have for the future?
I plan on going to college for Georgia Southern for engineering, and hopefully getting a job at Goulbourne so I can stay local and stay close with my mom.
Very good. Has she been a pretty big influence in your life?
A very big influence.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And we look forward to watching you during the season.
Thank you.
Hunter, how long have you been playing?
I've been playing 5 years, starting 8th grade. Yeah.
Did you come from somewhere else? Have you always lived here in Richmond Hill?
I moved here 6th grade. I used to live in Hazelhurst, Georgia.
But you started playing in 8th grade. So who got you involved in football? Who encouraged you?
Well, at first I didn't want to play. It was my mom, and she was like, you got to get out of the house. Got to get some athletics. So she signed me up for the football team, and I was just a little scrawny thing. But I stuck with it because it was cool.
So what? It is cool. So what position are you playing now?
Wide receiver.
Okay, and what is that? Have you always played wide receiver?
No, I played linebacker until my junior year.
And what do you like about playing wide receiver?
You got all the fancy stuff, all the spots on you.
Yeah.
So it's always fun.
Yeah, awesome. And especially, what do you think is the most challenging thing about being a wide receiver?
Being my speed compared to the other guys, it's not up to par to them, so I got to work on my routes and stuff to catch up to them.
And work on your 40 time and all
ma'am.
that, right?
All that good stuff.
So, what do you plan to do when you're finished with Richmond Hill Wildcat football?
Probably go to GSU, get a degree in criminal justice and stuff like that. So.
Do you plan on trying to play football? Are you going to play sports when you get there?
If I can, then yes.
And how do your parents feel about you moving on and finishing your senior year?
She's sad, all those mothers be sad and stuff, but she's excited for my senior year, so.
Well, I appreciate you sitting down with us and look forward to watching you this season, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
I am sitting here with Will Huffstetler.
Yes.
Will, tell us your number and what position you play.
My number is 45, and I'm an inside linebacker.
Okay. Tell me what an inside linebacker does.
We are a run-first player. We play up on the run, and we're kind of the quarterbacks of the defense. We have to play up on the run and play back, get in zone for their pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you make hard hits.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So as a senior, are you also training up people behind you that are coming up, juniors and sophomores?
It's kind of cool to teach kids under me, because I was just in their shoes these past few years, and it's kind of crazy how fast the time flies. But yeah, we're definitely teaching them, helping them learn the ropes and stuff. Yeah.
And so how do your parents feel about being a senior and your plans possibly for the future and moving on to play football at the next level?
Yeah, I've been trying to talk to people about it, but my mom and dad, they're pretty excited. It's my senior year. I'm sorry, I was distracted. But they're excited. It's my senior year. It's kind of mind-blowing. It's already here. I've been playing football for a real long time, and I'm trying my hardest to get looked at by the next level, but we'll see. Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is like the number one criteria for colleges that you're looking for? What's the number one thing?
The one thing I'm looking for in colleges?
Yes.
I want a good school academically, because I'm looking at life after football, and I want somewhere that I can enjoy it,
So what's your major?
I want to be a pilot.
A pilot?
Yeah, so something in engineering, yeah.
All right. Well, best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
All right. DeAndre, now you came here from
Effingham,
okay.
second semester sophomore year.
Okay, that's right. Because you did the lift-a-thon. Okay, yeah. So what did you lift in that? What did you squat?
315.
315.
Yeah, it was 315 last year.
And then what about bench? I thought you had either a big bench or a big squat.
It was my bench. I got like 300 last year.
So you bench as much as you squat.
Basically, yes, ma'am.
So that works well because you play what position?
D-line, defensive line.
Okay. And what do you see as the biggest challenge in playing that position, being on the defensive line?
I mean, you got to know how to use your hands. You got to be strong. I mean, and your legs and upper body. So, I mean, those guys, offensive linemen, they're a lot heavier than most defensive linemen. So, I mean, you got to be able to have some type of advantage over them. So, and that really helps me out with being how strong I am. It helps me out a lot.
So do you also work with the younger guys coming up and encourage them to lift weights and kind of show them what they need to do to be successful at the position?
Yes, ma'am. Like last year, I worked with the freshmen, the rising freshmen, and I went to the workouts over the summer, helped them out for spring or whatever. And a lot of them look up to me because I'm probably the strongest one on the team. So I mean.
And they want to know how you do it. They want to be strong like you.
I mean, push-ups, protein, well, not really. I never took protein, but like eating peanut butter, that's the type of protein. So I mean,
right.
That's basically it.
Well, I mean, it builds your muscle,
Yes,
gets you
ma'am.
stronger. Well, so how do your parents, your family feel about you moving on? And what kind of plans do you have for the future?
I want to go to college to play. I haven't quite found like a team I want to play for, what college I want to go to yet. I mean, but they're looking forward to me going to college. I'll probably be like, well, besides my sister, I'll be the second one to go to college. So I'm excited for that. And she'll be there to support me, her and my stepdad. So they're
That's
ready
good.
for it and ready to get out the house.
Is that right?
Yes.
Are you the last one?
Yes, ma'am.
You know what? It's probably bittersweet for them.
Yeah.
They're sad to see you go.
Yes, ma'am. Like when I leave, they'll be like, how long you gonna be gone? Like, I'll be back in the morning or whatever. Like, I don't be gone long periods of time. Like,
And they're wanting you back home already.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Well, we wish you the best of luck,
Thank you.
and looking forward to watching this season.
I'm ready for it.
All right. Good. Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you.
And now we're here with Donovan Bouler, and he is also a senior this year. Donovan, tell us your number and your position.
I'm 53. I play defensive line.
Okay, so another defensive person. Tell me the biggest challenge for you on the defensive line.
We're trying to stay in shape and trying to stay physical and like work on my stuff.
Do you feel the same challenges like with some of the other defensive players, wanting to be intimidating or at least trying to, how do you make your presence known?
I try to be physical and like make sure they know I'm here and make an impact on defense.
And what about school for you? How do you balance the school athletics life?
Like, I try to switch my focus from weight training, like with football, then switch my focus on second block. And then after school, I switch my focus back to football.
So what are your plans for the future? Are you planning on going to college? You got teams looking at you?
I just trying to go to college for like school, and I might walk on to any college I go to.
What do you think is going to be a challenge walking on?
Like trying to let the coach notice me and keeping up with the rest of the guys.
And how do you do that?
Stay fit, talking to the coaches, try to get better and all the good stuff.
Right. What do you think about, what does your family think about you being a senior, moving on, not going to be at home anymore? Are they sad?
They're excited.
They're excited? They're
Yes.
excited for you? That's great. All right. Well, best of luck to you, Donovan, and we look forward to watching you.
Thank you.
Or tomorrow night, rather. Okay. I am sitting here with Andrew Purcell. And Andrew, tell us your number and your position.
Number 54, played defensive line.
Tell me about the challenges being a senior playing defensive line.
One of the biggest challenges is getting everybody to listen, really trying to step up and be a leader this year. Yeah.
How have people been receptive to that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Been real good about it.
Your teammates respect you in that role?
Yes, ma'am.
How much of a challenge is that?
It was hard at first, starting in the summer, because no one really wanted to listen. But now it's real easy now.
And are they meeting your expectations?
Yes, ma'am. Exceeding them.
Exceeding them? That's great. Tell me about your plans for the future.
Hopefully going play college football and major in physical therapy. That's what I really want to do.
Physical therapy?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to some camps this summer?
Yes, ma'am. I went to Jacksonville University, Savannah State, a few others.
What'd you learn there?
Just really teaching hands, with really important being defensive lineman, and hips a lot too.
Right. You think that's kind of what's going to carry you on through?
Yes, ma'am.
To get people to start looking at you?
Yes, ma'am.
So what does your mom and your family think about you moving on?
They love it.
They're been supportive?
Yeah.
In
Since
helping
day one.
you? Yeah.
Yes,
What colleges are you looking at? Anyone
really
in particular?
Not really. I mean, mostly just anyone with a physical therapy program.
Would you say that your mom has been pretty influential
Yeah. really.
in getting you where you are today?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And if you were going to say something to her, what would you say to her?
Love her. Appreciate everything she's done for me.
Yeah. Good. All right, Andrew. Well, best of luck to you, and thank you so
you.
much. I am with Nico DeCosta, and he's going to tell us a little bit about himself. So, Nico, tell us what number you are and what position you play.
My number is 56, and I play middle linebacker.
Tell me what has been the most challenging aspect of playing middle linebacker.
I would say the most challenging aspect is keeping your head in the game. because I'm not boasting or anything, but the linebackers are like, they're example setters in the defense. And if they lose their head, kind of the whole defense watches that, and it's just like they take after that.
And would you say defense has really been a big part of the Richmond Hill Wildcats?
Defense has been an amazing part. I think they have won every game. That's how it goes for us. I think they win every game, and offense catches up with us.
So in playing defense and playing middle linebacker, what other challenges do you have during school? I mean, you obviously have to balance schoolwork with athletics. How does that work for you?
I would say the fact that you get tired after everything, and that when you're getting home after practice at like 7 o'clock, and you have homework to do and studying to do, obviously you can't knock that off because, you can't do school, you can't do football. So the most challenging thing would be to continue that. It's like dedication that you have to do. You got to toughen it out.
Right.
You got to study at least 2 hours a night. You got to finish that homework so you don't go on the obligations list and not play. And do you believe that you're setting an example for the other players on the team as well? I do, but I also believe that a lot of our players are like that too and set other examples. I'm not the only senior that does this. A lot of people balance everything and set off good examples. So what plans do you have after this year? I plan on attending the Naval Academy. I've done the process and I'm just waiting on the board now, but I believe that I will get accepted and maybe get an offer for football from that college or any other college. That is excellent news. And how do your parents feel about that? Oh, they love it. They're all for me, They're really helpful, That is great. What would you say about the coaching staff this year? Definitely different. Definitely the way more intense. We're definitely 100% committed to football from right when we step on that field to right when we step off. But it's not like a, I wouldn't say it's like dictating, like dictatorship kind of thing. It's it's harsh, but fun. It's different, but we got used to it. That's great. It's great to hear that. Well, best of luck to you. Thank you. The rest of the season, and hopefully we'll get to the playoffs and see you there and in your future. All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, you're welcome. Appreciate it.
Tell me how long you've been here.
I've been here for almost a month now.
Okay.
I just moved here.
And where'd you come from?
Lexington, South Carolina.
What brings you to Richmond Hill?
My dad's in the military, so he got called to come to Georgia.
Well, so tell me what position you're going to play then.
I am playing center this year.
Ah, very good.
Yes, ma'am.
That is a tough position. How do you prepare for that?
It's tough, but I just really should prepare yourself to play any position. You just got to practice it every day.
Yeah.
And work hard.
So what are you doing in the weight room to get stronger and be the best center for the Wildcats?
Just pushing yourself, encouraging others, and defeating yourself. Just facing your fears of the weight. Just face that.
And you're coming into Richmond Hill as a senior, and you're going to be a leader on the team, obviously, just by sheer being in that position. I mean, how do you deal with that? You're having to make new friends and prove yourself to these people. I mean, what's been the challenge?
It's really been no challenge. Everyone on the team is very welcoming, so it's been helpful. I've already made tons of friends here, so it feels like a family already.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, ma'am.
So talking about your biological family, your mom and dad, I mean, how do they feel about you being a senior and moving on?
Well, they're upset. I'm adopted, so they're upset because they've only had me for about 5 years, and I'm getting ready to leave the house for college, and but they're excited for me. They're proud of how far I've gone.
Yeah.
So and the progress I've made.
So what do you plan on doing once you graduate?
I plan on majoring in engineering and civil engineering or aeronautical.
Got to college at all?
I've thought about the Citadel,
wow.
Clemson, or just maybe a small college here in Georgia.
Well, I look forward to watching you play this season and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. appreciate you joining me. Tell me your number and your position.
I'm number 68, and I play right guard.
How long have you been playing that position?
All 4 years.
All 4 years. Have you been playing
ma'am.
football a while?
Yes, ma'am, since 4th grade.
Have you been in Richmond Hill the whole time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, wow, so you are a Wildcat, tried and true.
Yes, ma'am.
Good for you. So what do you find the most challenging about the right guard position?
I would have to say probably getting downhill, getting to the second level, getting to those backers.
So you're on offense, so the biggest challenge is just basically keeping them off, making sure they don't get through.
Right.
Okay. And what would you say is, as far as being a senior is concerned, is the biggest challenge for you leading this team?
I would say trying to prepare everybody to get ready to compete for a state championship.
Do you think you're going to get there?
I think we have a good chance.
So who I've been asking some of the other guys, who do you think is going to be your biggest competition?
I would have to say probably the returning state champions, Valdosta.
Yeah, you're looking way down the road, aren't you? That's good. It's great to be positive. Tell me about school. How do you balance school with athletics?
Just make sure I show up on time every day, make sure getting homework done after practice, and that's about it.
Well, who helps you do that? Who would you say is your biggest influence in being able to balance those things?
Probably Coach Azat.
I look forward to watching you this season. Thanks for joining us, and look forward to playing these senior spotlights.
Thank you.
So I appreciate you taking the time out from practice. Of course, I know your mom from being in the Touchdown Club. How does your mom and your dad and your family feel about you being a senior and moving on, going to college?
Well, they've always had their full force behind me and encouraging me. And of course, they're going to feel a little bit sad about, after football, high school, then it's college. And considering the colleges I want to go to, might not be playing football at the college level, so this might be my final year. So, like Coach always says, lights at the end of the tunnel. And so that kind of has them sad, but they're also excited to see, this is my senior year, see what I can do. And especially since, my dad's in the military, so he used to be gone for a bit, when he was deployed and stuff. And so because of that, this is one of the few seasons that he's able to actually fully see. And I feel like he's really proud of me. Well, I know he's really proud of me. And I hope to prove him right and make him proud of me and, show him what I've grown. And then Mom, while he was gone, she was the one who taught me, unlike other kids who had their fathers, go out in the field, she would look up on, YouTube and stuff and look up how to do certain things, do certain forms and techniques. And so I also want to show her how far I've gone and show them that not only football as a sport, how much I've grown from it, but as an individual, as a man, how much I've grown because of football.
Right.
Because I believe football is more than just a sport. Of course it is, but it can be much more if you put all your heart and soul into it. It can teach you teamwork, work ethic.
Krisean, what position do you play and what's your number?
I play at wide receiver. I'm number 81.
We got a lot of wide receivers on this team, right?
Yes, ma'am, we have a
lot of senior wide receivers. So who's coming up behind you?
I think next person behind me is Danny Hoodoo, and he'll be a junior. He'll be a junior this year.
As a senior and a senior wide receiver leader on the team, how are you training him up so that he's probably never going to be able to fill your shoes, but what are you doing to encourage him?
Well, right now he's kind of hesitant about things like his catching and footwork, so I just help him out with catching drills and all that, and I help him out with a little bit of speed moves, with his feet and everything, try and help out his footwork and stuff.
I mean, it really is about teamwork, isn't it? Y'all have to help each other.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of plans do you have for the future? Where are you going? Have you decided?
I'm trying to attend Kennesaw State after high school, attempt to play football there, but that doesn't work out. I'm going to try and go in for business.
And are you in the business pathway now?
Yes,
in
ma'am.
school?
I've already completed the pathway and got my certificate for it and everything.
You have?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So what GPA do you have?
My GPA right now is a 3.0.
That's excellent. How do you balance that when you're playing sports at this level? How do you do it?
Well, I have a strict mom, so anything school comes first. but she does give me freedom now to play football, so I make sure I get all my schoolwork done first, and then I worry about football after that.
So would you say that she's a pretty big influence in your life?
Yes, ma'am. She's helped me out through a lot this year.
When you're getting pumped up for the game, is there anything that you do? Put your socks on one way, or?
Normally I just listen to my music and just take a nap and just chill out until the game starts. Yes.
Well, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Look forward to watching this season.
Thank you.
Now we are here with Lance Miracle. And Lance, tell us your number and your position.
I'm 92 and I'm defensive end.
And tell me about what a defensive end does and what the challenges are for you.
They try to stop the other team from moving the ball, and the challenges for me is I'm always undersized for my position, and so I have to work harder, that much harder to do what I have to do to get the job done. And so I have to try to beat people with speed instead of size because I'm not as big as what I probably should be or as tall as I should be, so I have to work harder.
So do you feel like when you're going up to the line, you're probably not as intimidating as some other guys on the other side?
No, but I try to make my mark early so they know that I mean business whenever I go out there.
And how do you do that? What do you do in the weight room? What?
I try to work on my speed, and I try to work harder in the weight room and do extra reps just to make sure that I've worked harder than the other guy across the line from me.
And as a senior, do you feel like you're setting an example also for your other teammates and guys coming up?
Yeah, I think that when people look at me, they see what I do and how much work I put into this, and they have a level of respect for me, and so they want to copy what I do and my work ethic.
What about school? Again, with all the players I've asked them, workout, athletic, school balance. How do you deal with that?
It's challenging because you have to sit there and try to focus on working for football and then also working for school and trying to find a balance and a medium between the two. And trying to do that, you have to try to stay really organized, and that can be challenging. And then trying to get home after practice, you only have a certain amount of time to balance things out, and it can be super stressful where you want to just stop, but then you have to realize that there's a bigger picture and you have to keep pushing forward.
And do your parents help with that?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. They help a lot. They try to help me the best they can.
And how do they feel about you being a senior and now moving on?
They're worried, but a good worried, because they're kind of scared for me, but they want to help me to be the best I can, so they're really helpful with the process.
And what are your plans?
I plan on going to play college football somewhere. I'm talking to a couple colleges, and that's the plan. And then I want to start my own gym and become a personal trainer and stuff. So that's the plan for college.
That is great news. So what would you say to other kids when you're talking about, potentially opening up your own business and these types of things? What advice would you have for kids coming up?
Just to do what you want and find something you love, and then pursue that and pursue it as much force as you possibly can.
That's awesome. Well, great talking to you, Lance. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Look forward to watching you tomorrow.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. I'm sitting here with Quinton Lavant. And Quinton, tell me what your number is and what position you play.
My number is number 99, and I play D-tackle.
Okay. So tell me what a defensive tackle does.
Well, we just have to get to the ball, keep your feet moving, and just
keep your feet moving.
Yeah.
And so who are you going after? Are you going after the quarterback?
Just whoever has the ball, you just got to get to it.
Just go after him. Is that so? You just got to wrap him up and take him down.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You like doing that?
Yes, ma'am. I love it.
Have you always played this position?
Forever, since I was 8.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a long time. You are you planning on taking this to college, play football?
Well, hopefully I could get to college by getting a scholarship at the end of my senior year. This is my last year. I just want to play the sport that I love.
Yeah. How do you feel about being a senior? Are you excited?
Yes, ma'am.
And what have you done over the summer to prepare?
Coming up to summer workouts every day, just getting better, getting stronger, faster.
Have you gone to some camps this summer?
Yes, ma'am. Just last week I went to the Florida camp 2 days.
Florida, as in the Gators?
Yes, ma'am.
How was that?
It was fun. It was tough, but
was it tough?
I got through it.
Well, so how does your family feel about you being a senior this year, and are they looking forward to watching you play this summer or this season?
My mom and dad come to all my games. They're very good supporters, and they love watching me play football.
Of the two, who would you say screams the loudest?
Probably my mom.
Your mom. Who would you say influences you the most as far as your football career and playing is concerned? Of your parents or anybody in your family, who's been the most influential?
Probably my dad.
Your dad? Did he play football as a kid too, or
no? He played basketball.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Well, which is fine. All the sports are in the family, right? You got any younger brothers or sisters coming up?
No, ma'am. I'm the only child.
Well, so in your position, how has being a leader on the team to the guys that play your position, how much of a challenge has that been for you?
It hasn't been that hard. I mean, they look up to all the younger kids, look up to the seniors on what they do, and as long as you keep working, then they'll work too.
That's great. You lead by example, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching you this season, and best of luck.
Low Country Radio, broadcasting all your local high school sports and serving up good times and good music 24 hours a day. Find us on the TuneIn app and crank it up.